Julie, Russell, and Eve. The family lived in Ivins, Utah. It's about 4 hours away from Salt Lake City. But then you fast forward to 2015, and Ruby and Kevin started a channel on YouTube called 8 Passengers. And the videos were all about their family and parenting and marriage and homeschooling.
I've never once forgotten.
You can't see the video now playing, even though I've played it. What am I supposed to do here? I am stopping and I am reacting. Why isn't this speed? It is speed up. It's at 1.25. They all were. They've all been 1.25s. Okay, well, what am I supposed to? You can't. Is it not playing at all? School of Thought. Share the video. I did share the video. It's on here. I'll do it again. Let's add Shane in also, welcoming him.
Hey, everyone.
And then here I'll reshare the screen. I clicked off everything else. And we've been on the twisted case of Ruby Frank. It's still not showing. I know. Well, I clicked it off. Is it showing now? You can hear it though. Oh, interesting.
I could hear it playing backstage, but
is it? Do you see it on the screen now?
Like,
yes.
forgetting to eat or forgetting to breathe.
I'm not going to rewind it back.
For me,
you could
like,
hear
at the
it.
camera and blogging. It's like I would never forget
Thank
to do
you.
that.
Their channel became so popular, it eventually boasted more than 2 million subscribers.
I just felt the spirit tell me everything's going to work out okay. And then I had the thought, you need to share this too on your video. You need to let your viewers know that everything's going to be okay for them too.
All right, we want to thank Morgan & Morgan, the largest injury law firm in America, for sponsoring this video. Now, I know what you're thinking, right? Lawyers, endless hours of confusing paperwork. Not with Morgan & Morgan, folks. Nope, they have completely modernized personal injury claim process. How have they done that? You submit your claim, your documents, and you talk to your whole legal team. Yes, team. All on your phone, a team. I wonder what that's like. I can't even get anyone here to get me a coffee. Oh, and get this. You only pay them if you win. Yeah, there's no upfront fee. It's pretty amazing. It's no surprise. Over 3.
Oh my God. How do I get
Everything is sponsored now, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems to be. Where's my sponsorship?
Yeah. We want brand deals for Star.
We do. So
Oh,
I can
Miss
pay.
Nova.
I thank you. So I can pay everybody. I want to pay everybody. Thank you very much. All right, let's
just show the day-to-day life of the family, from after-school sports
How many of you out there play tennis?
to cooking.
Is because if I decide I wanted a roast at the last minute, pork is really quick and easy. It does not take all day. It takes like about 30 minutes.
To haircuts.
Doug, is there anything wrong with the back of my hair?
Wrong?
Yeah.
No. That's the way yours.
It's horrible.
But did not come without its share of criticism and controversy. You see, Frankie's videos also addressed some sensitive and darker topics.
You can tell looking at her, she's got quite the temper, and she looks like she's mentally ill out of the eyes. Just so you know,
The crazy eyes.
well, it's not just kind of, but for me, there's a specific look that I can spot.
One thing that I think is very, very harmful is inappropriate memes. There are some hilarious memes out there, but there are also some memes that are just downright nasty. And I think it's important that we know what our kids are looking at on their Instagram feeds.
However, it was her parenting style that
I don't think little kids should even be on Instagram or social media, but hey, you know.
There was another one of these channels.
just
I
me.
remember they started adopting children, and they adopted a disabled child, and then they couldn't handle the pressure and gave it away.
Really?
Yeah, monetizing the kids is, I don't like it at all.
that really
Yeah, it can be a problem. No different than children actors, and to some extent, just kind of takes out the middleman a little bit. I think it should be. I don't really think there's a big problem with it, but it should be. Not every. I don't think most parents should be doing it though.
No.
Because I've noticed a lot of them can't figure out how to balance reality, real world with what they're doing with their kids. And then kids also end up with too much of a, spoiled.
There was a one I saw where a little boy was upset, and his mom thought it was like part of the act,
Yeah.
And he was like, no, mom, I'm really upset, and she didn't, okay, well, we'll use it, It was just.
Yeah, well, that could, well, that kind of goes with the other crazy people who want to get on here and they do whatever they can do just to get likes and views, right? Including watch people get hurt. I watched some videos with this one broad on, what was it, Twitch or something, and she practically got this woman to drown, and she was just filming thing, and it was just for so she could get paid and get the likes and the whole 9 yards, and so that's what you're dealing with.
Gosh.
So
became problematic for many. It was a level of discipline that concerned viewers. For example, in one video, Frankie admits that her youngest daughter, then 6-year-old Eve, forgot to pack a lunch for school.
I know that her teacher is uncomfortable with her being hungry and not having a lunch, and it would ease her discomfort if I came to the school with a lunch. But I responded and just said, Eve is responsible for making her lunches in the morning, and she actually told me she did pack a lunch. So the natural outcome is she's just going to need to be hungry.
6 years old.
what the hell? 6-year-olds are supposed to have their lunches made for them, not go out and make it. I mean, this isn't the Depression
And
era.
accidents happen.
I know accidents happen, and we're not plowing fields. What's wrong with slapping your kid a bologna sandwich together or something? Anything, anything. Honestly, at least so. And she looks pretty skinny too. Have you noticed that?
In another video, Frankie said, quote, "My kids are literally starving. I hesitate to say this because it's going to sound like a mean barbarian, but I told the kids I'm not even going to let you eat breakfast until you get your chores done," which is all so chilling considering the allegations of starving her children. But the discipline would also consist of other acts too, like her and Kevin not giving their 2 youngest children gifts on Christmas one year because they said they were selfish. Now, the 8 Passengers channel, it was removed by YouTube, we believe, earlier this year. Reporting indicates that the family had also been posting less content over time. We don't know exactly why all this happened. It could be connected to the criticism of some about the punishments that this family doled out to the kids and talked about in their videos. Multiple accounts online have posted videos over the past few years pointing out these concerning moments that were all caught on camera.
What do you do when you're disciplining your kids and they make you laugh? Oh, it's frustrating. All of my kids have done. Chad does it too.
I do not, because I never get disciplined.
We're adding our favorite clown now to the
Hey,
line.
Trippy.
You guys haven't even gotten to the part where it starts getting sickening, Star.
Oh God, am I going to be upset?
It's
by the time
terrible.
we get to this?
Oh my God! You want
it gets worse.
You want me to give you a spoiler?
No. Wait till we get to it and then make some comments.
Yeah. I don't want to
Let's go.
jump too far
And
ahead.
Ruby
I'm
Frank-
sure I
Yeah.
would.
Let's just
She
go.
herself would respond to that criticism.
Online who hate me, who would like to cancel me, who would like to see me.
It's all about me. Look at this broad. Me.
Me.
I'm on stage.
Yeah,
watching
look at
now.
her. She's almost makeup free for sympathy. You can tell it's that I didn't put makeup on because I want you to feel bad for me. Look.
You know what? You could feel bad for me with my makeup on. Thank you. That's how I feel. I don't
Well,
want
she was one of those.
Yeah, no.
Actually, I
What?
think they already covered this, but I'm not sure. This was a mommy vlogger. This was a woman that was trying to teach people how to treat their children.
Oh
Hmm.
God.
Yeah,
Eh,
and hiding a bunch of dark shit.
didn't you cover this a while ago?
I don't think so.
Somebody covered this.
I don't think so.
I don't know
Um,
who it was though.
I
All right,
covered
well,
some
She
of the
started
Daddy
some
of
sort of
Five
business coaching parents.
Oh, is that
There
it?
you go.
Was it?
Yes,
Yeah.
and she was partnered with another woman, but they'll get there in the video.
Yeah.
Um,
Either
All right, let's
burn in
play it
hell,
so we
as
can get
I've
to it.
told, or
Make comments while she's
disappear off the face of
going,
the
I
earth.
guess.
And I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, Frankie said in an interview with CWIC Media last year, quote, "I was slapped upside the face with shock that people didn't like responsibility. I went overnight nearly from being this loved YouTube mom to being called a neglectful, abusive mom. I was shocked." Well, now Frankie is in a Utah jail cell, accused of abusing her children alongside her business partner, Jody Hildebrandt. And that's the moment I want to take right now. I want to take a moment to talk a little bit more about Jody's backstory. So according to the Utah Division of Professional Licensing, Jody Hildebrandt is a clinical mental health counselor. She started her own YouTube channel known as Connections.
Interesting.
So many of us that are parents, it's like, I don't want to have to track them down. I don't want to have to just, like take everything away from them. And it's like, you're not taking things away from them. What you're doing is you've handed them things that they're not managing. And so it's your job to make sure that the first thing they manage is themselves. Like they understand how to manage themselves. They know how to be responsible for themselves. They know how to not blame. They know how to get curious, which means humble. They know how to ask questions. They know how to say, that doesn't feel right. Can you help me understand? They know how to do all that. And when you give them activities or you give them opportunities that they engage in where they can't manage themselves.
Pause it for a second. This woman, I believe, did he say it was Jody Hildebrandt, or was that the woman?
That's her name, yeah.
Mm-hmm, yes.
Okay. Yeah, Jody Hildebrandt actually partnered with the mom from that, oh my God, what is it called? Something of 8. Anyway, she partnered with her and was like very aware of what was going on behind the scenes inside the home. She was like coaching the mother coach.
She used gaslighting and psychology to mess with the kids,
and duct tape.
And she's been doing this for years. This woman in particular have been doing it for years, starting with her own children.
Yeah, no. I want to read Barry Geekler's comment because I'm going to give him a heads up on something. Hey, you put, am I a jerk? But I already stocked on diapers and Gerber baby food for March. No, that's great. Is the baby already born? I thought it was on its way. I'm going to give you a heads up. You're going to have a lot of blowout issues very, very quickly. So make sure you have more than one size, and make sure you can return the previous size when you've already outgrown that one. If you start to notice a bunch of blowouts, that means they've it's not big enough. Just so you know. Okay, continue on. Oh yeah, it's still an
Speed it up a little.
And congratulations, by the way. Huh?
Put the speed up like one more tick.
Okay.
Going to become more and more unmanageable inside of these activities.
Put it to
At some point, Ruby Frankie joined Connections. We also believe that Kevin might have been in some of those videos. In fact, the website lists Ruby Frankie as a certified mental fitness trainer. And
Ruby
Frankie, as I
Frankie,
said, appeared alongside Hildebrandt in these videos.
I have been full-time. You wonder where I've been on my vlogs? You wonder why I left YouTube?
Head on this
to save my
okay?
kids.
Okay.
No amount of money. I'm telling you,
put
I
my
was
head on this,
making
right?
millions. And I left
Not my avatar right
because
now,
my
but
kids
I
were
might be able to.
hurt with entitlement. They were being hurt with people's advice, and they didn't have a mother up the front saying, I don't care what the world's opinion is. This is the truth, and this is where I stand.
Okay, but now fast forward to last month, when according to court documents and a 911 phone call, Frankie's 12-year-old son, RF,
Here comes
Ruby Russell, climbed out of a window at the home of Hildebrandt. He ran to a neighbor and asked him to call the police.
I really wish I could hit pause. Oh, hey, perfect commercial to talk through. So, her 12-year-old son had to escape the home, and he had rope marks and tape.
90% of students
Tape all over him,
plus
and
GPAs
he was bruised, right? He was malnourished
like Harvard,
and anemic.
Stanford, and other top 10
And he
universities.
escaped the house, made it to the neighbor's home.
He escaped because he wanted help for his sister, who was even worse.
100,000 plus applicants a year. As a parent, your child needs to stand
I wish
out.
she would have
Top
paused
universities
before she
like
stood
Harvard,
up.
Stanford,
That's okay.
Princeton, and others.
We can manage this.
Students who will have a successful career
Or
after
not.
graduation. This
Actually,
is what gives a university its prestige. Universities are businesses.
Next time she does it, I'm going to ask her to send me the video, and I can just
successful. It's
post
the
the screen
best
share.
form of marketing.
Maybe that'll work. I'm not sure.
And we know
I'm
this
mentally
because we've guided
drained.
thousands of students in over 40 states to get into the top 25.
You just did your own stream, didn't you?
We know that there are 3 factors in the
Oh, and I
admission
talked
criteria
about
that
the recent
universities are looking
YouTube drama
for.
stuff.
And that's why we have a free webinar where we go over these 3 main factors that prevent
No,
sixth
this was
from getting
Jody
into
Co.
the top colleges. And we cover the
and then you might
important
remember
parts of
Ken
college
Mojo.
admissions that are
Ken
overlooked.
Mojo.
Why 90% of students with 4.0 plus GPA are not accepted.
Pause
What
itself.
universities actually want in applicants. but
George.
Skip that noise, man. I had to mute that, bro.
Oh, yeah.
God. Oh my.
I could have just asked her to send me the link, and then I could have hosted it. I have ad block.
Me too.
I know. Should I unmute it? No, it's went back through.
Still another commercial.
For me, so going to therapy helped me.
Oh, shut up, Rod.
Well, hell. But yeah, her 12-year-old son had to escape the house, break the fuck out. There was also one of her older kids had made mention on one of her actual videos that he'd been sleeping on a beanbag for like 4 months because he pranked his little brother by telling him they were going to Disneyland. And the parents thought that was a very bad thing that he did. So they took his bed away and he had to sleep on a beanbag chair for 3 months or 6 months.
There was something about the kids being evil. She thought the kids were evil or something, or
she was trying to, punish the devil out of them.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, they had demons in them or something.
They all
do.
do.
Some kind of person who thinks that you can, pray the away.
You don't pray the evil away, man. You beat the evil out. No,
beat the evil out of them. You duct tape them to a chair.
You put them in a chair.
Duct tape them to a chair and beat them with a yardstick.
Oh, look who finally decides to join us. P. Fletch, 83.
What a P. Fletch. He was probably over at the Raging Tomato stream.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's trying to get a little tomato juice. Never mind. He's trying to get seeds in his mouth.
V8.
Yeah, you can unmute. The commercial's over. Actually,
he asked us to call the police.
Might just want to pause it.
So he's very afraid. This kid has obviously been. I think he's been.
I don't have that kind of control.
He's obviously covered in.
Oh,
we need cops here as soon as possible.
Yeah, it appeared that Russell had been bound with duct tape, that he was
Gosh, he's
severely
back.
malnourished. He was asking for food and water. First responders, they come. They find his
Guys.
sister, EF.
Hey, Miss Nova. Miss
Yes.
Nova, as soon as you stood up, a commercial started playing.
Are you shitting me?
Not even like
Crap.
20
I'm
seconds
sorry.
later.
I am sorry to everybody. I did not know that. Hi, P. Fletch. Welcome back in.
If there's a next time when you got to get up or whatever, just throw me the link and I'll present. And that way,
I don't think I'll have to. I won't have to get up again. I don't.
or just pause the video and we'll shoot the moon while you're up.
All right.
Know to be Eve, 10 years old, inside of the home in a very similar state. Both were taken to a hospital. Ruby Frankie, Jody Hildebrandt, they were both arrested.
Look at
now, I
them.
also want to tell you the police noted as well that Ruby Frankie was seen on a YouTube video filmed in Jody Hildebrandt's house. It was posted 2 days before the kids were discovered. And the police said, quote, this observation points to Frankie
Hit the
being in
pause
the
again,
home
Miss.
and having knowledge.
Yeah.
Miss Teacher of the School of Thought.
Yeah.
When right before he came back, they talked about how the 12-year-old son actually escaped the home and got to the neighbor's house and was shown to be malnourished, I think anemic, and he had bruises all over him with duct tape on his wrists and ankles still.
It was you who told me about that. It was you.
Yeah,
he
probably.
escaped.
Okay. That's horrible.
Yeah, he escaped. Yes,
He got to a neighbor's house for help.
And and the neighbors brought him in. I guess the father, if I remember this part right, the father sat with the son and got him to tell him a little bit about what was going on, and the son kept telling the neighbor, don't call the cops or anything, don't tell on my parents because I don't want them to get in trouble. And during this whole situation, the actual what was her name, Ruby, whatever the fuck, her husband, the woman that was running this page,
Yeah.
he had been away from the home for something about 6 months.
Yeah, there's some sort of divorce going on, I think.
Some kind of separation, and he's largely claimed ignorance to any of this shit because, well, I mean, I think he also said that he left her because of the way she disciplined the kids, but he basically took off and just cut ties with his own kids and let them stay in that
If that was the
situation.
case, if she was doing that to his kids and he walked away, then he's culpable as well.
That's what I say. And apparently her sister was even aware of the way that she disciplined her kids, but not fully, because the sister is part of the reason that the situation is more known about now. And all of her kids were malnourished. I think the oldest son was 16 or 17, and he was the one that told the story about how he pranked his little brother, and his mom she punished him by taking away his bed and giving him a beanbag chair to sleep on.
That's horrible.
For 6 or 7 months.
What a bleep bitch. Sorry.
Oh, thank you, Mary.
She was using the Bible and that they were evil or had some sort of demons inside them that were making them misbehave,
No, it's her. She's the one with the demons and the problems.
Mm.
Damn kids.
I'll beat the devil out of you, you 6-year-old,
Yeah, that's horrible.
with this hammer. covered in a cinder block.
Okay, stop. I'm not starting the video. Stop. Okay.
Thanks,
Stop.
Barry Giegler. I do know a
That's
lot
why
of shit.
Each is charged with either inflicting the injuries themselves on these kids or causing or permitting another to inflict the injuries. So it's going to be hard to argue that Ruby Franke didn't know what was happening or didn't endorse it. And prosecutors are going to have quite the latitude to argue in front of a jury that these injuries constitute child abuse because under the various charges, it is abuse if the injuries result in a form of torture or malnourishment, even severe emotional harm. These are serious crimes. In fact, the maximum is 15 years in prison on each respective charge. Let's go back to the early warning signs of trouble. Well, back in 2020, Child Protective Services went to the Franke home to investigate claims of abuse thanks to a Change.org petition. This again seemed to be brought on by the viewers of her channel and people who were concerned with what they were seeing. But here's what may have prompted that. So then 15-year-old Chad, the Franke's oldest son, was sent from Utah to a camp in Arizona called Anasazi. It is a weeks-long wilderness camp for troubled teens. And when he got back, he played apparently some pranks on his younger brother Russell, whom he shared a bedroom with. And take a listen to what Chad and Ruby Franke, his mom, had to say in a video that she posted and eventually was taken down.
In our house, when we take something away, it's because they have shown that they are not responsible enough to manage it. And so we don't just turn around and give it back as soon as they start acting good.
It has to be consistent.
It has to be consistent over a minimum of 6 months.
My bedroom was taken away for 7 months.
6 months?
It's insane.
Minimum of 6 months. Now,
I mean, we're not talking about a teenager using a car and driving to Mexico or something and partying. We're talking about a bunch of little kids,
Yeah,
or being grounded or something.
I think after this, one of the other sons was sent to a camp or something like that, and he used the opportunity to actually call his own father and try to get his dad involved. But that might have been the same kid. I'm not sure. But one of the kids,
Uncle Guns is giving the "I'm sleepy, this is boring" sign.
Wake the fuck up.
Wake up, Mr. Guns.
Wake up and grab a brush and put a little makeup.
Let's push through a little bit, and then you do more commentary towards the end.
Didn't give it back like a couple of weeks ago.
I don't think our viewers know that. You've been sleeping on a beanbag.
I was sleeping on a beanbag since October. My room back like 2 weeks ago. Oh, I'll give you the reason why I lost my bedroom. I think so. I think it's the reason. At least this is the reason that's in my head.
He doesn't even know the reason he lost his bedroom. Do you see that?
It's been so long.
And little kids are emotionally up and down, right? And their attention span is pretty low. So trying to do that long term doesn't even work anyways.
As far as I remember, he just told his little brother that they were going to Disneyland and got him all excited, and then smacked him with the "Sorry, no, we're not going nowhere," and thought it was funny.
Yeah, that's
probably was.
Took away his entire bedroom and gave him a beanbag. How about overreacting?
Yeah, so yeah, she's the look at her face. Yeah, she's the overreacting deep.
Oh yeah, you can look at that and see
eyes.
how mad she is.
She's a
at
very
him.
angry person, anyways.
Mhm.
So
Control freak.
yeah, well, usually you are
Power.
angry. You're more angry the more of a control freak you are in those.
That Adam's apple.
Adam's.
She's got an Adam's apple.
A lot of really thin women do though. So
So pretty funny, but now I look back at it, it's pretty depressing.
No, we never told our viewers.
So I woke Russell up at 2 in the morning and told him that we're going to Disneyland, and he asked pack, and he got up and made his bed all neatly and then packed all his clothes in a suitcase. And then he walked out the door and I'm like, Russell, he was like, what? And he's all happy. Has his sunglasses on, and I was like, we're not going to Disneyland. And he started crying and hitting me. And then he went back to bed.
it's kind of funny.
So that was not the reason.
That's an average prank.
Well, the other reason is because I pointed a BB gun at his face.
Pointed a BB gun at his face and hung him.
Pointed a BB gun on his little brother. She was raising psychopaths.
The day I got home too.
Chad came home from Anasazi and
Russell was like, I want to try dunking the basketball, and I lived in a
and he was.
and left him there like 3 minutes, and he was just hanging on
Do
to
you
it.
think it's funny because?
And then I walked out.
If you think it's funny, then that was 7 months ago. Maybe you need longer without a bedroom.
Oh damn!
Chad showed that he was not
Wow.
able to manage himself sharing a bedroom with Russell.
So when we moved, the bigger room in the basement was automatically his, and I didn't have a room, but we put one on hold for me.
So a lot of you are like, hey, that's not fair
How do you
because
put a
Chad got
room
the
on hold?
the lesser bedroom and Russell got the bigger bedroom. Russell got the big bedroom and Chad got the smaller bedroom.
How do you put a bedroom on hold?
You go, no, you're not getting a bedroom until you do this other thing.
Oh, okay. And we put
Yeah.
caution tape in front of it too, with an alarm bell or something.
Well, I mean, there's no bed in there or dresser
Try
or
to sneak
anything.
in there or something,
Just let them sleep on the carpet, I guess. Like, that would probably be a punishable offense in that household as well. But like, did you hear the things he was doing to his little brother? Like, just he
average boy.
like, oh, you want to dunk a basketball, and then he hung him from the rim.
Yeah.
You know, like stupid stuff like that. It's not even that bad.
Average boy stuff, actually.
Yeah, right. Like other families, their big brother is lighting the little brother's toys on fire and laughing at him. So,
I remember my much older uncles giving my cousin, we're like the same age, you know, pulling his underwear up between his ass,
wedgies,
or
Wedgies.
panting him, you know, because he was kind of a little prissy asshole anyway, so he kind of deserved it.
thank you. And then pull your underwear up your ass while you're trying to pick up your pants.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, let's push it.
And Russell's bigger bedroom also had a bathroom. But what you guys didn't know was Chad didn't get any room. He didn't get anything. He was sleeping on the floor in the family room. It hurts me just as much as it hurts my kids.
Both Chad and his sister reveal that they don't have any friends
It
since they moved to a new
hurts me
home,
as much
nearly an
as it
hour
hurts
away
my
from their school.
children.
I don't feel safe
Right.
or accepted in any friend groups. So.
And in the same video, Ruby talked about going away with her husband
go.
Kevin to a retreat. And while they're gone, the kids were only supposed to use their iPads for schoolwork. But Ruby learned that the youngest children had broken the rules. So because of that, Ruby apparently took away all the electronics from everyone for the rest of that summer. After she spoke with Chad and Abby about her views on
Jesus.
punishment, she then brings Russell into the frame. And I just want you to watch his face as she's talking, because for me, it seems pretty evident how uncomfortable he is. Because he's not only dealing with the fact that he's being disciplined, but this conversation
He's a
is
cute
being
little
recorded.
boy.
Okay, you guys, I need to go have a talk with Russell. The fact that he's not willing to sit with me and be humble and talk is a big demonstration to me that he has some distorted views and that he is in a lot of shame. Oh, there you are. I was just talking about you. Do you want to come sit with me and talk? I'm going to get down on your level. I've noticed that you've been hiding from me, and you are feeling a lot of embarrassment and shame. I don't know. You tell me what you're feeling. Mad.
That poor kid looks like he's 40.
I won't be able to go anywhere.
Poor kid looks like he's freaking hungry, and he's hiding because she's
miserable.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like he's
she's
aging by the
miserable.
second.
No, he's
Yeah.
hungry, and he needs
Yeah.
to sleep. That's what he needs. That's what you're looking at. Sleep.
Well, no,
How is
no,
it-
sorry. You
And
don't.
not-
You're
Huh?
supposed to keep them awake as long as you can. Little sleep as possible.
I know. So that way they're
He's
good little,
distorted
good
and
little disciples,
humble.
good little disciples, right?
Yeah. And then you beat them up
Yeah, I said
and you
that.
tell them you're doing it for love.
I know, and it hurts me as much as it hurts you, honey. Yeah, no.
Mom, that's a shotgun.
Okay, so I hear you. That sounds like a lot to be taken away. That sounds like it's going to be a miserable summer. Can I tell you what I see? Would you be open to hearing what I have to say? I see that yes, the iPads will be taken because you weren't responsible. You were lying and being manipulative with them.
Yeah, but you did start it.
And Eve may have started it. That's very possible. And who's responsible for you being disobedient around the iPads?
Me.
You. So it's up to you. If you want to be miserable because you don't get TV or iPad, that is totally up to you. You get to choose boredom and you get to choose to be miserable. What I am seeing, though, is that you're upset with the outcome for being mischievous. And instead of being humble and accepting that there is an outcome for you being like that with ads, instead you're being selfish. And what I would like to see is that you be humble and say, yeah, you know, I own it. I was mischievous with the iPads. I was sneaking them. I can see where I've broken trust. And I don't want our relationship to be an untrusting relationship.
And once again, Frankie defends her actions.
For listening to all of your comments and your feedback, I think I understand where some people are coming from. They're like, oh, the parents don't give their kids beds. And I totally agree with that. I know there are lots of children out there whose parents are neglectful. We got accused of child.
Okay, let's be honest. There is a problem with iPads and little kids. Okay, there is.
Well, yeah,
You don't need to take away their TV too. Like, just take the iPad away. You know.
Yeah, it's torturous enough for a little one.
It
Well,
sounds
I
like
mean,
all electronic
it's also
devices as
torture
well.
for you. As the parents, you
Yeah,
know,
it's torturous for
keep the
both.
Damn TV. Seriously.
That's why a lot of parents are just like, you know what? Take the iPad, okay? Go in there, be quiet, don't ever talk to me again. In 7 hours, if you're hungry, I might feed you. You know.
Yeah, I'll throw a bag of chips in there and then close the door afterward.
When we sent Chad to Anasazi, guess what? The first thing that they did was take a bed away. They don't have beds. So Chad slept on the hard ground for months, and it's run by psychologists and therapists. And if not having a bed was psychologically damaging, then they wouldn't have suggested that.
Now, it was videos like these that led viewers to be concerned. I mentioned this Change.org petition that was set up and received a lot of signatures. Well, then CPS, Child Protective Services, is called to visit the home. And social workers come to the Frankie home. They look around. They interview all the children. But the case was closed because there was not enough evidence of wrongdoing or a crime being committed or abuse.
Woo, this is a tough
Oopsie.
choice. But I
It comes
can't
into
go like this.
commercial. We'll wait for it to go.
Anastasia means something, doesn't it?
Saying, quote, I remember.
Means what?
What does Anastasia mean? That's is that a Native American thing?
Anastasia. I think it's a derivative of Anastasia, isn't it?
Ah.
Well, I think
it is.
Anastasia or whatever was that school, that like boarding school she sent the kid to.
Yeah, but where's that name come from? Is that historical?
I don't know.
I don't know. I have no clue. Sorry.
Hey, clown, go look it up on Google.
You know, I don't get paid enough for this.
Neither do I. That makes me do less. Okay, let's go.
I remember that morning very well. These officers, they were two ladies, said there had been several complaints about child abuse and child neglect. Could they come in and spend some time? She goes on to say that they didn't find anything. And before leaving, according to her, these workers were supposedly so impressed with her and Kevin's parenting that Frankie said, quote, they both said they were going to go home and make some changes on how they were parenting. In fact, according to Kevin Frankie, when they walked in unannounced, Eve and Ruby were baking bread together and doing a puzzle. He went on to say that it was hardly the evidence of an abusive home. But then, in another incident, April 2022, a social worker from the Department of Child and Family Services, DCFS, contacted police saying that two children were running unsupervised by the family home. But when a police officer arrives, the kids weren't there. We also know that back on September 18th, 2022, the couple's daughter, Shari Frankie, called police. You see, Shari basically cut ties with her family after Ruby started working with Jody at Connections. And she herself was attending Brigham Young at the time. But Shari reported that her siblings had been left home alone for days and she wanted to make sure that they had enough food. So police show up. The kids reportedly wouldn't answer the door, but police could see them inside. The police speak with the neighbors. In fact, according to an officer in a report, quote, everyone who came to the scene was very concerned about the children and them being left at home alone, expressed great concern about the two youngest children being homeschooled while the two older ones go to public school, mostly because it shows that they're home alone during the day by themselves and there isn't any way for them to contact emergency services if needed. Reporting indicates that law enforcement stopped by the house 4 more times between September 22nd and October 3rd, but it doesn't seem anything came from it. It's not clear if DCFS...
Okay. I'm thinking about fast forwarding to the last video, to be
Do it.
quite honest with you.
Do it.
All right. I hope
Because, like,
everybody
a lot of
doesn't have
people-
a problem with that. I hope you
You know what? If
appreciate
they have
I'm
a problem
trying
with
to
it,
save you.
if they have a problem with it, then just gonna have to, like, you know, answer to the teacher.
Oh, that's right. And we all know how I like to put you all in detention and well, punishment, spank bottoms.
Yeah. And then I've broken your trust.
So, line, single file line, everybody. Assume the position. Screaming Beagle says it's an ancient native tribe that has mysteriously disappeared.
I knew it. Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
it,
then Barry Giegler says an early native tribe in the SWUS.
it's also a
Southwest.
boarding school. I looked it up. The St. Anastasia School.
Bandit. It means that I have the whip. I'm waiting to make more money to upgrade to a crop. Okay, I prefer a crop to this. All right, but one must do what one must do. In the meantime, here we go. We're going to go to the last video, and everybody says, "Praise the Lord," and it is called the Manosphere is a Cult, Part 2. And we're going to end on this one. Hold on to your knickers. Let's hit play.
Hello again. My name is Two-Sided Jack, and this video is going to be a part 2 on why the Manosphere is a cult. So last time I talked about how the Manosphere is a cult with reference to an article by the man named Mark Manson. This time I have a different source titled Characteristics Associated with Cultic Groups. So I'm going to be doing much of the same thing, but referencing essentially just a second source this time to really reinforce that the Manosphere, particularly I would say the Red Pill, is a cult. So
Romano says, but will Star show her knickers? We'll find out. Not unless I put out a calendar or a wall-size poster or an 11x14 signed. Until then, no.
Like I
Go ahead and make my own cult calendar.
article is characteristics associated with cultic groups, and essentially
Clown
Apparently,
already.
Uncle Gomes is going to make a calendar.
Yeah, the clown already has one.
Oh no, I mean like
is a bunch
with
What?
you on it though.
Oh God. We'll see. We'll see. Until then, not just yet. Okay.
of bullet points that mention cult-like behavior, and I'm going to go by them one by one and see if they relate to the Manosphere or the Red Pill. Spoilers, almost every single one does. So without further ado, let's get into it. Characteristics associated with cultic groups. Revised. Michael D. Langone. Excuse my, frazzled voice. I've just come out of strep throat, and it's currently a heat wave in the UK. So doing pretty worse for wear, but we'll live.
All right, get on with it, buddy.
Concerted efforts at influence and control lie at the core of cultic groups, programs, and relationships. Many members, former members, and supporters of cults are not fully aware of the extent to which members may have been manipulated, exploited, even abused. The following list of social structural, social psychological, and interpersonal behavior patterns commonly found in cultic environments may be helpful in assessing a particular group or relationship. So this is essentially, just like I mentioned earlier, a list of cult-like behaviors to help someone determine whether or not a group they are in or interested in or at least aware of is a cult or at least cult-like. Compare these patterns to the situation you are in or in which you, a family member, or friend is currently involved, just like I mentioned. This list may help you determine whether there is cause for concern. Bear in mind that this list is not meant to be a cult scale or a definitive checklist to determine whether a specific group is a cult. This is not as much a diagnostic instrument as it is an analytical tool. So with that, I should put a disclaimer in. Just because the Manosphere/Red Pill will meet a lot of this criteria does not, by this article alone, determine it or diagnose it a cult. Rather, it's just essentially another nail in the coffin. So, for the first point, the group displays excessively zealous and unquestioning commitment to its leader, and whether he is alive or dead, regards his belief system, ideology, and practices as a truth as law. So, the Manosphere has a lot of different thought leaders. The main thought leader of the Red Pill is Rollo Tomassi. I had some comments in my last video.
Grandma Tomassi? Grandma. That's who I call him. Grandma over there. Yeah, I really didn't like it when I started noticing that they called him Jesus Christ, the Savior. All
I've been
hell.
calling him Rolling Tomato.
Yeah, I'm gonna call him a 2-bit fucking guitar player. That's what I'm gonna call him.
Some people who Dr. Phil were saying that Rollo Tomassi is not the leader of the Red Pill because he's never claimed himself to be the leader.
Put my dog on Dr. Phil. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't make her any more qualified than he is.
Of the Red Pill. This is ridiculous. You don't have to call yourself. The criteria for meeting that of a cult leader does not live or die by whether you call yourself the leader of that cult. That is ridiculous. Imagine if Jim Jones said that he wasn't the leader of his cult. Would you then say that he wasn't the leader of his cult? Absolutely not. Just because Rollo Tomassi doesn't say he's the leader of the Red Pill, it doesn't mean that he is in fact not the leader of the Red Pill. He is absolutely the main thought leader behind that movement. The Red Pill is almost entirely based off the Rational Male blog and books, which is his works. So Rollo Tomassi is effectively the de facto leader of the Red Pill. And with regard to the first point,
and a plagiarizer of 3 other authors.
Wow.
I said it. A plagiarizer. Like a typical guitar player, stealing content. That's what they always fucking do. I said
it. People do display excessive devotion to him, as evidenced by the comments in my last video. Also, prior to the quarantining, if you ever went on the Red Pill sub and criticized Rollo's works or criticized Rollo as a person, people would attack you quite viciously. Hell, people would do this. Red Pill people would attack people viciously outside of the Red Pill spaces themselves, like if people attacked Rollo Tomassi on Bad Science, the Bad Science subreddit, or the Our Relationships subreddit. If people attacked Rollo Tomassi there or the Red Pill there, people from the Red Pill would come out of the woodworks to attack the people who are attacking him. So there's absolutely an excessive devotion there, an unquestioning commitment, and if you ever have interacted with Red Pill people, they regard the Rational Male book to be the Bible, essentially, of that movement. So the Red Pill meets the first point, and the Manosphere broadly, but specifically the Red Pill meets the first point pretty well. Number 2, questioning, doubt, and dissent are discouraged.
It used to be the old saying was, if it sounds like a duck and it walks like a duck, then I guess it must be a duck.
One thing that annoys me about this is that if you go to any YouTube site or any blog or on any subject and you criticize, people will come back at you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like you've just criticize their mother or their father or God himself,
Yeah.
which is
No, like I mean,
asinine.
even cooking people that do cooking channels get criticism.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Or do comic book channels. I know a girl that does DC comic channels, and she gets like harassment and threats, you know, and people will say they do things to her, you know.
Comic books?
Yeah, they try to
Oh,
get her
absolutely.
fired from her day job.
You know, when I was first on Instagram early last year, and I was, before I knew who these people were, just so you know, I did not know who these people were. And I went to some other said pages and I made some comments. All of them started actually, I had like five or six guys threaten to grape me
There you go.
just for making a challenging comment or calling.
But the same, if you go to a feminist thing and criticize the feminist thinking, you will get bombarded by feminists as well. Now they don't threaten to rape you, but you know, or grape you, but the attacks happen everywhere. Is what I'm getting at.
Yes, and I wasn't smart enough at the time, but I did manage to at least keep one copy of the screenshot of the guy who was saying that. It was like after the fifth time, I was like, okay, maybe I should make a screenshot and start showing the behavior of the people who are involved in this stuff.
I saw someone yesterday on Twitter threaten a woman. She does like new baby stuff. You know.
Yeah, and what they're threatening a woman over baby stuff?
Yeah, they were saying, or she said something. She was talking about on her Twitter about people should have more babies. You know.
Yeah, we should.
And
why not?
You know, and it was something about like, I don't know, they objected to her husband being a bit older than her or something, and then they started saying, "Oh, you're very brave hiding behind your screen and your husband," and started threatening her. I was like, it's ridiculous.
That's weird. I mean, that's your business. That's running his business. How old he is and what they're doing. Honestly, it is. Like, what the fuck do they care?
I mean, but this couple, I think they're together like 6-7 years now. You know, so it's not like. And I think they were friends beforehand. You know.
I see. Okay. Wow. We just attract crazies all over the place now, don't we?
Absolutely.
Yep, you're essentially called beta or
Hi, P. Fletch. Where are you
implied,
going?
otherwise there's something wrong with you.
See
If you
Sarah.
do not fall in line with
Nah.
red pill or manosphere
No?
mantra.
Oh.
Nah.
If you go on incel spaces, people accuse you of coping. If you challenge some of their teachings, and otherwise people essentially just mock you in MGTOW spaces. So
There are like
manosphere
4 different things
definitely
you just
makes
named.
the second criteria list as well. Number 3, mind-altering practices, such as meditation, chanting, speaking in tongues. The manosphere, I can't really... So with the manosphere broadly, I wouldn't necessarily meet this point. However, I would say that the red pill reaches this point. What's a mind-altering practice that the red pill engages in? It's pretty close to meditation, and it involves the use of suppressing. Its service is to suppress doubts and further indoctrinate people into red pill ideology. And this is the going monk mode of the first,
for God's
say,
sake,
2 months of being in the red
Monk
pill.
mode?
For those who don't know,
Not
people
having
who were
sex.
First introduced
Yeah,
to the red pill
I knew what he
movement.
meant. I knew what he meant, but believe it or not, there's a lot of monks who actually have sex. So I don't. I mean,
But it's not meditation.
no, that's not meditation. No, it's not. I could
That's like,
see. I mean, I could see doing it for other reasons, but not to indoctrinate myself with somebody else.
I mean, people do
Well,
meditation
remember-
for stress relief. You know.
Yeah, but even in the Bible, people talk about spending time with the Lord alone and abstinence and fasting and time and prayer. Okay, I could
It's good
see.
for the soul.
I could see doing it for stuff like that, but not for somebody's fucking book.
Were advised
I
by
must
members
not-
of the
not-
community to undergo monk mode, where they shut themselves off from essentially any other sources, and basically just spent 2 months solid, fully investing themselves in red pill literature to become as indoctrinated as possible. So this would be considered
No,
a
that's not right.
mind-altering practice, meaning that the red pill, at least, has met the first 3 criteria in this list. The leadership dictates, sometimes in great detail, how members should think, act, and feel. For example, members must get permission to date, change jobs, marry, or leaders prescribe what types of clothes to wear, where to live, whether or not to have children, how to discipline children, so on and so forth. So Rollo Tomassi has a second book called Prescriptive Medicine, where it might be in the third book actually, but in one of his books, he talks about how to raise kids. So this is one thing. He very often, like, Rollo Tomassi claims not to prescribe people, tell them what they should do, but he heavily suggests things. So he may get away with saying, like, saying that he doesn't tell you what to do, but he very heavily suggests what you should do. It's kind of like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge kind of thing. So I would say that they meet this criteria in terms of like prescribing people or dictating to people what they should do. This is quite common within the Manosphere spaces. People in the Red Pill, for example, will tell you that you should go out a lot to practice game, that you should go to the gym a lot to work out, that you should do this, that, and the other, dress in certain ways, act ways, out. And people in the MGTOW communities will say that you should avoid women and everything. The Manosphere in general definitely dictates and makes strong prescriptions on how you should live your life. Therefore, the Manosphere, I think, definitely meets the fourth criteria in this list. The group is elitist, claim a special exalted status for itself, its leaders, and its members. For example, the leader is considered the Messiah, a special being, an avatar, or the group or leader is on a special mission to save humanity. So they don't claim to be on a mission, at least the Red Pill doesn't claim to be on a mission to save humanity. It does, however, claim to an extent to be on a mission to save the West and to stop the damage that they believe feminism is doing. They believe they are special in this regard, and so therefore meet the fifth criteria on this list. I would say that incels don't really meet the criteria on this list. Subgroups of pickup.
I used to think an incel was like a government operative going into a group to, sabotage it. That's what I used to think it was.
See, the curious thing about incels, most of them aren't really involuntarily celibate because most of them could pay for it but don't.
I that's true, and from what I'm gathering, many of them do actually.
Well, then then they're not celibate, so.
Yeah,
I think he's reaching with his things here. Have you ever heard anyone in the Red Pill tell you how to dress?
I've heard them talk about cleaning up your image and how to dress better. Does that count?
Oh, that's hardly a negative, though, is it?
No, that part isn't a negative.
Or like your hygiene, make your hygiene be good. That's.
Yeah, that should be like common knowledge, but surprisingly for a lot of guys, it's not. Like scrub your ass. Don't just think a bar soap is going to do it. It doesn't. Seriously.
That's right.
I'm not seeing harm in any of this yet.
Say that again.
I'm not seeing harm.
No, not just yet. No, but he's building around that. Well, he stipulated that. He said things that are similar to the cult leaders.
OSD
cult practice
kind of do claim to be the definitive pickup artist group. OSD stands for Real Social Dynamics, which is headed by a man called Owen Jones, or his pickup artist name, Tyler Durden. I've not checked up on OSD in the past couple of years, but that's where they were up to last I checked them.
Fight Club fan.
So I would say, given that, they meet. I would say that incels don't meet the list, pickup artists to an extent do, and the Red Pill most certainly does. The group has a polarized us versus them mentality.
That's true.
Which may cause conflict with wider society. I've talked about this at length in the first video, but the Red Pill definitely creates an us versus them mentality, being us, the Red Pill, and them, the feminists. So they definitely create us versus them mentality in this regard. Incels do, except instead of being specifically feminist, it's mostly just women they're against. And MGTOW for the same thing. I would say that pickup artists, though, don't engage in this behavior. So 3 of the 4 main...
Interesting. I did not know that POAs do not do that. I thought it was all-inclusive. I didn't know.
Well, see, these are all separate groups, you see.
I guess.
But they have quite a few similarities in a lot of cases.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's overlap.
They seem to be... From everything that I've been seeing, it seems to be all kind of coordinating together.
Well, a lot of the PUA guys are sort of feminists, or they encourage that sort of thing. For their own advantage,
They encourage it to what extent, though? Because
you will see, like, like Alex on that Playing with Fire thing, he gets on with all of the OnlyFans girls, or Michael Sartain, he does the judge bikini contest or something.
I had somebody very interesting bring this point up to me once. Like, if it wasn't for feminism, you wouldn't know, or you would probably, how did he put it? Less natural desire. So feminism encourages desire from a woman, and they're less reliant upon men, so then they get genuine desire out of a woman. So I thought that was kind of an interesting point.
Yeah, maybe.
Subgroups of the manosphere engage in this polarizing us versus them mentality. The leader is not accountable to any authorities. I can't account for every leader in the manosphere space. Andrew Tate, who's considered somewhat of a leader, again, I guess the Dan Bilzerian of the manosphere, is actually being held to account by authorities, as his bitch boy ass has fled to Romania to avoid rape and human trafficking charges. Because, he's a pussy.
Boy ass.
Doesn't accept responsibility for his actions.
This guy hasn't been keeping up with the news.
Boy ass comment in there,
With
didn't
regards
he?
to Rollo Tomasi, the leader, again, of the Red Pill, I would say, he's not accountable to any authorities. He is the authority. So they meet this criteria.
Accountable for what, though? If he commits a crime, he's going to jail.
Right.
I would really like to know how these guys are even the authority of anything.
Well, they're not. But I mean, you could take this list and you can apply it to multiple groups. So, and if it applies to multiple groups, then it's not especially harmful.
Hey, Stefan. Nice to see ya. Welcome in. Let's see what more he has to say.
I mean, if the red pill is a reaction to feminism, then feminism started the us and them.
I don't know about that.
Well, think about it. Like, the anti-patriarchy stuff, the women's lib, all of that stuff, it was far more big in society and far more consequential than the red pill is, which is in its infancy.
Well, like you said, it's in its infancy, but so far it's pretty bad. It's what it's doing so far. I mean, I'm not.
What has it done that hasn't already been a thing?
You're seeing large groups of males talking pretty bad about women. The difference is that women as a movement, even though we have significance, we will never be able to put out the violent equivalent that the males can, which is why.
Well, in fairness, though, women have changed laws. Women have entire police forces and state apparatus that protect them. Women have, in Australia, they have a minister for men's behavior.
I don't agree with that, but
do you know what I'm saying? Women are not like, women have power. It's you look at the United States. I think don't women own more houses than men?
Women are a protected class.
Yeah, so that gives them power.
It gives them power, but we don't have the same type of power or the same weight that men carry. Women do not even run society. I hate to break this out to everybody. Women no, hold on. No, women are not number one. We are not number one CEOs, presidents. We are not.
No.
We are not running the country. We have a role inside of the country, but it's still the men. Okay, so let's keep that on track.
Yeah, because men know how to run shit.
Yeah, they also know how to ruin shit pretty damn good. But
Well, usually when you hear a story like that, it's the woman behind the man that's like telling him, "Hey, you tell your friend to go fuck off. He's bad for you." That's usually what I hear anyway. I'm not saying like I'm against either one, but it's like it's stupid people that are ruining everything. It doesn't matter what gender they are.
Yeah, well, but it's in design though. Okay, so
And
it's in
current
design.
feminism is more of a
But you have
cult
to
than any
look
of
at
this.
look at who's at the top. Who's at the top, pushing all that shit all the way down to all of us peons, right? It's not the women. They're using
Rich
the women's
people.
voice to push an agenda. But what is Bill Gates? It's a man. What is Soros? It's a man. And all the little guys, especially in the WH.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not.
Men.
I'm not.
So it's the men sabotaging the brotherhood. The men. You understand? It's not the women. We don't carry the weight and the power.
Yes, but women also take the message, believe the message, and they perpetuate it.
Women have always done that. Why? Because women facilitate the vision of men. Okay? And the women who are power hungry and or crave power, they want the power, but they will never achieve the same amount of power that a man will always get behind a man who's crazy and push it. That's why you see women in prisons who are willing to marry or defend a man despite whatever the action is. Okay?
Oh, you mean like they marry serial killers and things like that?
Yes.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yes, and women, much like children, can be what is the word for it? Along the lines of being brainwashed. What is it?
Yeah, but there's also the other thing that men have an outgroup preference. Men will always go easier on women for whatever they do.
No, I don't know. I don't agree with that.
A man and woman convicted of the same crime, the man gets 3 times the sentence that the woman gets.
Okay, but
That's more common than not. Like we were telling you,
but it's the prisons that are overflowing with the men. It's not the women. Okay, that's how.
Oh yeah, I understand that, but a lot of the time we don't even look at women. We don't look at what they do that are crimes. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are a lot of things that men are pathologized in a way, like in a way that women are just not. You know, like you look at schools, the education system, they put boys on medication. You know, they treat them like defective girls.
That's to control. That's to control. Okay, that's
It's a Marxism tactic.
Hold on. The same reason that the sperm count and the testosterone is the lowest in the world ever, bar none, here in America. Okay, so if you lower the sperm count, you lower the testosterone rates, then the nation is easier to control, and then the men will act like women, and they will follow suit as opposed to go, hey, I don't like this shit. No, that's why.
That's plastic as well, isn't it? In our
yes, it's also in your clothes. It's in your clothes, your food, your water around you.
Leaders.
I'm gonna hit play so we can get this over with.
For these groups, which isn't to say they can't be cult-like, but rather there's no leader to be held to account within these subgroups. The group teaches or implies that its supposedly exalted ends justify whatever means it deems necessary. This may result in members participating in behaviors or activities they would have considered reprehensible or unethical before they joined the group. For example, lying. Yeah. So I can't really attest to incels or MGTOWs in this sense, but I would say that pickup artists and the red pill do meet criteria, being game for pickup artists. Some of the pretty fucking rapey parts of pickup artist teachings, for example, LMR, which stands for last minute resistance, is the idea that some woman will put up a little bit of resistance before the actual sexual engagement to make you believe that she's not a slut. This is gets into pretty rapey territory, so like very rapey so that's very dangerous stuff. And the way that I would say the red pill engages in this behavior is with dread game. Dread game, for those who don't know, is a behavior advocated for by someone just walking my apartment by now. Dread game is a behavior advocated for by Rollo Tomassi, where he suggests that you should essentially gaslight and manipulate your partner, your long-term partner, by essentially taking away attention and instilling dread in your partner. Dread as whether you'll leave or even cheat on them whenever they act in a way that you don't like. According to Rollo Tomassi, this will keep you being alpha in her eyes, and therefore less likely to leave you, or less likely to fall out of love with you, or much less likely to find you beta at some point. To Rollo Tomassi, if I'm not mistaken, he does actually say something like, I guess it's unfortunate it has to be this way, but he does say that it has to be this way. So this would be an example of the red pill essentially implying that its ends justify its means. As you can imagine, to anyone who's not in the Manosphere space, Dread Game sounds hyper manipulative, and that's because it is hyper manipulative.
Kind of like putting fear and dread into a woman so she thinks you're going to leave her at any time if she doesn't follow suit and capitulate. Yeah.
Women don't do that though, do they?
I don't know. I don't know what they do.
Withhold sex. I'm sure there's other things.
Yeah, you could count that, but men also do that. Believe me. Trust me. I know.
Well, there's another thing. It's like, if he doesn't do this for me, like, we're not going to, I'm not going to be dating someone who won't do this or who won't get me something on Valentine's Day or who won't,
Well, then dump her. But we're
Well,
talking
yeah,
about,
but that's
I'm talking about more like marriages and hearing these dudes tell coaches, these grifters telling men it's also okay to cheat, and that way you can keep your house and your kids, not have to worry about it, Yeah, just bring home STDs and, commit adultery and fornication. Sure, why not? It's okay for you, but it's not okay for them. Absolutely. No. It's messed up. You don't put fear and dread into people like that. On either side.
Well, most of these guys aren't talking about marriage. Their POAs are just talking about picking up girls in clubs, and the red pill is sort of anti-marriage, isn't it?
From what I can tell, the red pill seems to be very anti-marriage.
Well, MGTOW is anti all relationships, I think isn't it?
All of it seems to be mostly anti-marriage.
Or marriage as it currently stands, I think, or something like that.
I think so. I'm gonna hit play because I'm tired of talking about the red pill. And this was given to me to end on, just so everybody knows. So let's just get it over with.
Induces feelings of shame and or guilt in order to influence and or control members. Often, this is done through peer pressure, and subtle forms of persuasion. The red pill manipulates the fuck out of people in this regard. If you do not follow their teachings, the red pill teaches essentially that you will, for the rest of your life, be a beta male, doomed to have little to no sex in your 20s, and then when you get to around the age of 30, marrying a woman who doesn't really love you that much, or at least not the way that she loved her guys in the past, and you're essentially never going to experience true love.
All right. Did you need me to do anything? Okay.
Fear mongering. Also, it makes you feel like shame because, they believe that you should be ashamed of being a beta male. So the red pill definitely fits this criteria. Incels fit this criteria a bit to an extent as well, because incels will essentially accuse you of coping if you do not believe in their ideology, and so essentially will shame you as being, I guess, too weak or pathetic to accept these black pill truths. Because the incels' philosophy or worldview is that of a black pill worldview, which is similar to the red pill worldview, but far more fatalistic, far more hopeless, is the way of putting it.
Right.
Because the red pill...
This guy's not using shame at all.
Far more strongly than the red pill does.
Nah.
Believe that game essentially is a cope and doesn't really work, unlike the red pill, which believes it works quite well. Subservience to the leader or group requires members to cut ties with family and to radically alter their personal goals and activities they have before they join the group. Yep, so the Manosphere, particularly MGTOW, Pickup Artists, and Red Pill, will very much persuade you to engage in masculine activities, whatever they may be. Things like, weightlifting, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, by the way, or, getting into guns, get into whatever is considered a stereotypically masculine behavior, hobby to get into. That will
guns and cigars and being bald and
into that.
Wearing sunglasses.
Don't say that word. Say pew-pews. Pew-pews are fun, though. I agree.
Come on, we talk to Uncle in the chat all the time. We call him by his full name.
That's true. We do, don't we? Damn.
It's
you
the
got
same
me
thing,
on that
right?
one. Okay, you got me. All right.
Go
The
ahead.
last time I did
I'll
that,
try pew-pews. I will try pew-pews.
The last time I did that, they yelled at me and said, "You can't say that
Oh,
word."
that's what they did. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's
Lambs.
streams ago or something like that. All right, let's hit play.
It's okay. We're all trying our best.
The red pill will teach you that as you're becoming an alpha male, your friends and family may resist you. But this is because they want to essentially keep you down, or they like you being the beta that you were, and wish you to keep being the beta that you were, and that the red pill believes it's in your best interest to become the alpha they're teaching you. In reality, what's happening is that your friends and family see that you're being brainwashed, or at the very least, see that something very bad's happening to your psychological state, and are trying to intervene for your own sake. So the Manosphere, 3 of the 4 subgroups, being MGTOW, Pickup Artists, and the red pill, meet this criteria too.
I wish I had a breakdown. I wish I had known about this video before, and then I would have wrote down the attributes of what, because I don't even know what they attribute as being a true beta. Like, what exactly is a beta? Does anybody know?
Beta is sort of like the you know, the stereotypical, you know, husband who just gives money to the wife who doesn't really love him. You know, he's a weak man.
Bow down and do what the woman told you to do.
Yes, dear. You know, that kind of guy. Or the guy in school, you know, the guy who doesn't pick up girls and then marries the first woman he gets, you know?
Oh, okay.
You know, he's the follower, not the leader.
Okay.
But I think it comes from wolves, you know, like packs. There's like, or apes, you know, there's always an alpha. And then there's a beta who like is like second, you know, and then there's the sigma's like the lone wolf, you know, the guy on his own. And the omega is like the lowest of the low.
So then what do you call all the men following one guy who's getting paid to pretend he's the alpha of all alphas? Do you get what I'm saying?
Well, they're betas, yeah.
So then they're still a beta, even though they're trying to pretend that they have alpha.
There's see, a beta could be like, a beta sounds bad, but like, you know, the vice president is a beta.
I don't think,
You know,
I don't think it applies in those ways.
But, like,
I really don't.
if
what I mean?
you
Like,
look at animal behavior, the alpha, you know, has a violent life and tends to be replaced often.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't really think beta is the best analogy for a dude who's married in general. You know, like I think they should come up with some other term, I guess.
Well, you see, do you know that guy Jesse Lee Peterson? You know that you know, when someone says something weak or something or woke, he usually says beta. You know, he has a little sound clip. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Now he uses it for fun, but it's like a lot of the like this guy talking would be a beta.
Okay, I guess. I mean, I know what a
Yeah.
soy boy is, but you know.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Soy, beta, it's the same. The terms are ever evolving.
Yeah, but when I hear soy, it's more like a political / way that they are and of in being, not because they have a wife. You know what I mean? That's what it's, you know, it's just a general weak person. But I would look at most of the women and also call them the same damn thing. Okay.
Well, Rollo would say alpha fucks and beta bucks. You know, so it's like women want to have sex with the alpha, but they marry the beta as a long-term option. You know, he's the guy that you think would be a good father.
First of all, fucking Rollo is not even alpha anything. Okay.
No.
That dude's got softer hands than mine. Trust me when I say that. Number two, who the hell is he to sit there and call all these dudes that shit? And most women are not screwing around with said alphas. They're really not. Most of them are not.
Well, no, not most. No.
So that whole thing, yeah, no, I can't say it.
Andy's been married for what, 27 years?
Just say it.
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking spit it.
No, hold on. Let me get
It
permission.
doesn't mean he hasn't been on the scene. He hasn't been around.
Who cares? Don't get permission. This is your damn channel.
Stop it. Don't start to create anarchy just yet. Hold up. But anyways.
One thing though, he doesn't advocate for cheating.
Really?
He's like close on both ends. He said.
Yeah, I wonder how close. I wonder how close his relationship really is.
Well, that's another thing. I questions about that myself.
Well, you're
I don't believe a damn word he says.
I don't expect the guy to be in a relationship. That's a little bit, you know, giving him a lot of credence there.
You know,
See what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Yeah.
According to some rumors, he's had a side piece for quite some time. Just so you know.
Oh yeah.
There's some other things that I know, but I'm not going to spit them out. Not yet.
Right, gotcha.
Yeah. If I think we're talking about the same person, I believe she's married as well.
Maybe, but I'm not going to admit to anything just yet. I'm not going to do it. But anyways, so they're all.
Nothing has been proved.
The point is they are said liars, okay, and they're promoting something that they themselves do not believe. and nor do they live, nor do they really practice it. But they're selling you a bill of goods. That's what the whole point is. Yeah.
The group is preoccupied with bringing in new members. Yet the Red Pill often promotes people to share the Rational Male book or blog, and back in the day, the subreddit. Incels, not so much, and MGTOWs are quite quiet nowadays, but pickup artists often encourage to get their friends into it. So I'd say that pickup artists and the Red Pill engage in this behavior. The group is preoccupied with making money. Now, for the most part, this is the actual part of the list that I would say the manosphere does not engage in. There is definitely con men amongst the manosphere space that seek to make a buck off of desperate people, but this is not behavior on the whole.
Allegedly.
That I would say the manosphere is preoccupied with. Preoccupied with and or the hopelessness of their situation, if they're incels, or how to put men back in the driver's seat of society, i.e. how to reinstate a strong patriarchy. That is what the manosphere is preoccupied with, not so much money, because they're more of a political movement, as opposed to a con to try and take people's money. So, to give the devil his due, the manosphere is not guilty of this one by and large, I would say. Members are expected to devote inordinate amounts of time to the group and group-related activities. If you're on the Red Pill, you are expected to go monk mode, which is an enormous amount of time, so they meet that criteria. Incels, not so much. MGTOW, not so much. Pickup artists, you're expected to submit a lot of time into learning and practicing game. So I'd say the pickup artist community definitely fits into this criteria a bit, as well as the Red Pill community.
He's wrong about the monk mode thing. The monk mode, that's a MGTOW thing.
Is it?
Yeah, that's like guys that go, look, they go for celibacy, they avoid relationships, and they just concentrate on their life or their career or their job or something.
That's very unfulfilling.
Well, it is, but in the short term, some guys do it for years and some guys do it for months. You know, like there's some guys that like, especially if they've been very promiscuous. It's like,
I see. Okay.
You know, it's like going cold turkey on something, you know, and then restoring your balance, and then
like
try to get a
being
relationship.
reborn. Is it like being reborn or circumcised? Not circumcised.
Well, it's like quitting something you're addicted to.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, well,
you know,
creating.
If you live your life hanging around bars trying to pick up women, you know,
baptism.
Yeah, it's a habit, and you know.
But then being celibate's a habit as well.
I guess, is it?
Mm.
I don't know. I'm I could say that my aunt has practiced celibacy for a long ass time.
Mm-hmm.
So
I had my dad's had an aunt and an uncle. Both of them lived their entire lives celibate.
That's weird. Were they like asexual? Were they asexual?
Not like religious. They just, you know, they lived like they shared a house together, and it was like they were like mom and dad, that, you know, but they weren't. They were brother and sister.
Okay,
were they like asexual though? Was that what it
Yeah,
was?
they just they neither of them wanted to get married, and neither of them wanted kids, so they just didn't.
Huh.
No, there were always kids around, like, because they had brothers and sisters who had kids, and they, you know, they were always like.
So they just helped out.
They were just everyone's auntie, you know, or everyone's uncle, you know.
Got it. Okay. Weird.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
Is only with other group members. People in the incel community will claim that normies don't really get it, and so that other incels are the only ones that really get it, which is a subtle form of encouraging people to only associate with other incels. And I guess the Red Pill and pickup artists as well, to a small extent, say that it's good to socialize with people in the community. But I would say, to be fair, this is not something that's like that much of a problem within the manosphere. The manosphere seems to be pretty okay with making friends with normies, as they put it. So this is a behavior that can be somewhat applicable to the manosphere, but isn't that applicable. The most loyal members, the true believers, feel there can be no life outside the context of the group. They believe there is no other way to be, and often fear reprisals to themselves or others if they leave. So people don't fear because it's an online cult and nobody knows who anyone is. People don't fear reprisals if they leave the group. That's fair. But I would say that it's quite common of people, particularly in the incel and Red Pill communities, who believe that like their worldview is absolutely incorrect, and there's no other way to view the world, and there's no other way to be than or no other correct way to be than to be an incel or a red pillar that isn't cope. But I would say that the red pill and incel communities fit this criteria, but not so much the MGTOW and pickup artist communities. So, with that said, I've gone through every single member of the list. With regards to the Manosphere, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to count each point, or how many points there are, and then I'm going to see, and then I'll tally whether or not they apply to the Manosphere, broadly or not. So if it broadly at least applies to the Manosphere, I'll give it a 1, and if it doesn't, I'll give it a 0, and then I'll count up how many points the Manosphere racks up relative to how many points there are in this list, and then we can make a judgment based on that, whether or not this supports the idea that the Manosphere is a cult. So, the group displays excessively zealous and unquestioning commitment to its leader. Yes, 1. Questioning doubt, dissent, and discouraged. 2. Mind-altering practices are used in excess and serve to suppress doubts about the group and its leader. Red pill. 3. The leadership dictates, sometimes in great detail, how members should think, act, and feel. Yet definitely 4. The group is elitist, claiming a special and exalted status for itself, its leaders, and its members. 5. The group, us versus them mentality. 6. Not accountable to authorities. 7. Group teaches or implies that its supposedly exalted ends justify whatever means it deems necessary. 8. Induces feelings of shame or guilt. 9. Subservient to the leader, to an extent. A little bit less in this point, but yeah, I would say so. 10. Preoccupied with bringing in members. 11. Making money. Nope. So it stays at 11. Members are expected to devote an inordinate amount of time. 12. Members are encouraged or required to leave socialize the group members. I would say no for this, so still at 12. And the most loyal members feel there can be no life outside the context of the group. That's 13. So there's 15 points there. And the Manosphere, broadly speaking, meets 13 of these 15 points, which I think suggests, or at least nails another nail in the coffin with the idea that the Manosphere is broadly a cult. I think in my next video, I might start actually addressing some of the leaders themselves. I'm thinking about whether I should go after Royal Tomasi first, or maybe Andrew Tate, since Andrew Tate is making headlines recently. But I'll give that some more thought before I do the actual video.
Well, we're done with that, gentlemen.
Oh, thank God.
No kidding. I was at the very middle of it to the end. I was having a hard time following him. Not the best well-spoken individual, but it's okay. You know, God bless him for
trying.
Yeah, bless his heart. You know, as they say in the South, and it's not a positive thing when they say that to you in the South, just so you know. So,
bless his heart.
God bless his heart. It's like saying,
AKA, damn, that's an ugly baby.
I know, right?
What a pretty baby, bless its heart.
So this has been going a long time, and I kind of want to get up and walk.
Yeah, you're going.
So
1.5 hours.
Yeah, I know it's a little long. So does anybody have any closing thoughts before I address and do an outro?
I would just say that it's very, very, very easy to get into something like that. That there are cults everywhere. That there are charismatic leaders everywhere.
Yes.
And I would agree that most people don't even seem to notice that they're in one of these cults. I think the cognitive dissonance is an epidemic.
I would definitely agree with that.
I mean, I've heard people in politics talk about politics and talk about members of their own family and say that if they were on fire, they wouldn't pee on them.
Oh yeah, I've heard that too. I've experienced it. You know, you know, I can run in and save them, but if I need any help in return, oh God, it's like crickets. Ain't no phone, ain't nobody around.
What's that old saying? Blood is thicker than water, but politics is thicker than blood.
Oh yes, absolutely. I don't think blood is thicker than water anymore, unfortunately. But you know.
Yeah, it's been watered down, hasn't it?
It's been very much watered down. Yes, even in devout religious families, it's been watered down. Mm-hmm.
Personally, I think that that's how they've attacked family, you know, and they've ruined family. Family is the foundation of civilization.
It is.
You know, and if you undermine that foundation, the whole thing collapses.
Correct. I 100% agree with that.
And I think it's been undermined over, I don't know, what, a couple of 100 years?
Yeah.
You've been gradually, attacked. And it's been abused as well. The people have abused religion, people have abused politics, people have abused media.
Everything can be abused. It's up to the individuals around to know when to step away. And that's the problem. Nobody has figured out when to step away from something. And most of the abuses probably come since the obviously the late 50s going into the 60s. That's when you start to really see the assault onto the family unit.
But it was always planned, I think.
Oh, absolutely. It was always planned. And when you're looking at the absolute, not quite, but you're pretty close to the pinnacle of it all. It's coming up to that point. So it'll be an interesting ride in the next 3 to 5 years.
Oh, at least, yeah.
Yeah, at least 3 to 5 years.
I don't know. I don't know about you, but like things have been getting progressively worse the last 20 years. You really see the effect of everything they've done. People were a lot more normal in the 80s and 90s, in my opinion.
Well, that is due to the use of the internet and whatnot. What has been instituted into the internet to draw men away from relationships, and then now they've done a focal point on women to get them to do the same shit as men, so that way the whole fucking thing implodes. But
yeah,
I've mentioned that before.
Yeah, I think we've said this before, but like women, the primary function of women has been to maintain civilization via the family.
Yes. And hold
and
moral front.
Manners and the decencies and maintaining social structures, like knocking on the door of the old lady next door when she's sick, that kind of stuff. Stuff that community stuff,
community stuff, and holding the moral front, which is
and the education of their children.
Yes, which is the crux of the family unit to begin with.
I mean, the first 5 years, don't they say like how well your child does depends on those first 5 years,
Usually, they also they also say that for new businesses, just so you know. So it's like, but anyways, we're getting. I don't want to bore people.
Yeah, we're getting into another thing.
Yeah, does Trippy have anything to say before we leave?
I'm ready to start streaming.
Got an energy boost, huh? You're gonna just go and run with it?
I don't know who this Rollo Tomasi guy is, but he seems like he's kind of a weirdo. And it also seems like he would be stuck in his mommy's basement had he not figured out how to stream. So.
Wait till I show you his hair. I'll show you later.
Oh, good God! I've seen like the sides of it. I think he wears a hat most of the time, right? He's hiding something.
Oh no, a do-rag, a fucking do-rag.
I can send you an anti-Rollo video. Someone that kind of hates, gives a very scathing review of Rollo.
Nah.
Do it. I want to see it. I want to see what they have to say.
Oh, it's about 2 hours long.
Holy
She
cow.
really goes hard on him.
Holy cow.
Nice.
2 hours?
She does them all. She does Rollo. She does the Tates. And she did that one. Did you ever hear that guy Vouch?
Oh, I've heard of Vouch.
Oh, he's a nut. He's like a lefty. He's super left, but he's also into like weird porn. Like he's into weird anime porn.
That's right. You're right. He was the one that accidentally opened up his hidden folder on his computer.
Yeah.
While he was live, he saved something, and it showed that he's heavily into horses.
Yeah, he has a sexual thing for horses and bestiality.
Oh my God! Don't talk about that on my stream. You cannot talk about that shit.
Yeah.
Okay? No. You're gonna get me into trouble.
It's not. I'm not gonna get you in trouble. I'm safe. Okay.
But he's like a communist. But he's like a communist, but like also like from a rich family and lives in California.
Oh, of course.
Typical champagne socialist.
Yeah.
Yeah. He opened up his little folder there, Star, and people asked him about it later, and he was like, "Well, it's not that I want to do that with a horse. But I would like to have what a horse has between its legs, you know? Like, he
Okay.
wants to have that big of a...
All right.
One thing he did, this
Let's
woman,
cut it off
she did a
now.
video on him because this one, she dresses sort of like, you know, like office, you know, like a professional blouse, skirt type,
Office.
you know, and a cardigan even. And he said that she looks like something out of Mad Men, and she dresses like she wants to be graped.
Okay. All
Holy
right.
All right.
He's
and
a
All right,
lovely
thank you,
human being.
gentlemen. I'm taking you off the stage. Thank you for being here. I am done with this conversation. Anyways, I hope everybody enjoyed all of the attributes of what cult leaders are and how to become one if you want to. You've got a little tip in the beginning. In the meantime, thank you for joining me in this overly long stream on a Wednesday. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. To all my little thoughties out there, make sure you behave yourself or you're going to stand in line and assume the position. Until then, we will see you next time. And good night. Mwah. See you later.